Hey you, so today I'm here to do a review on some of the best and worst drugstore foundations that I have personally tried. I used to not like drugstore foundations. I actually used to hate them, but the drugstore has been coming out with a whole bunch of new, really good foundations, and I've been giving them all a shot. So I'm just going to quickly go over some of the ones that I really like and some of the ones that I would say stay away from. So let's just go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start off with one of the first foundations that I ever tried from the drugstore, and it's the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. I have mine in the shade 240. Now this shade is a little too dark for me now. When I first bought it, I think their line had just started. I did not like it because it was the wrong shade. And then they expanded their lines, and then I picked up this one, which I thought would match me really well, and it did during the summer, but now it's too dark for me. But I do like their new color range and their new formula. So it's a dewy foundation that does last for about 8 hours, and this foundation is about a medium to full coverage foundation. I definitely don't recommend that you do more than 2 layers with this foundation because you can look cakey. So medium coverage, it's not sheer by any means. It will completely cover anything that you'd like to cover with this foundation. If you are oily, this is definitely not a foundation that I would recommend for you unless you're the type of person that blots and presses powder over it and kind of keeps up with it all day, then yeah, definitely go for it. But other than that, like if you're the type of person that just wants to wear a foundation and go, then this is not the one for oily people because it will make your oils come out even more. So definitely is something that you have to keep in mind with this foundation. It is dewy, so if you like dewy skin and are able to maintain it throughout the day, then definitely go for this foundation. It is not very expensive. It's about $5 to $8 depending on where you buy it. I think it's great all year round. I don't wear it just during winter or just during summer. I think it's one of those foundations that you can wear all year round. And you can find this anywhere. You can find it at Walgreens, Walmart, Target, I mean just anywhere. This is a really awesome drugstore foundation. Next we have the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous foundation, and I have mine in the shade 305. I really like this foundation. It is a matte finish foundation, so it does help control your oils, but it's not matte enough to where if you have dry skin it's going to make it worse or look flaky or anything like that. If anything, it'll kind of just smooth over. I think I don't personally have dry skin, but I have had dry patches in the past, and this kind of just goes over it. It doesn't really stick to it or cling to it like other foundations tend to do. So I really do like this. This is about a medium to full coverage foundation. This you can do about, I think, 2 layers and you'll still be okay, but you don't want to do more than that. And I don't really think that you would need 2 full layers of this because it is pretty full coverage. So I really like this foundation. It lasts all day. I only have to touch up maybe once, maybe twice, depending on how long I wear it. But I really do like this foundation. And you can again find this at any drugstore, and it runs about $9 to $12 or something like that. So it's a little up there, but it's definitely worth it. So next I have this CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. This came out about a year ago, more than a year ago, I don't remember, but I have mine in the shade 857, and this is definitely full coverage foundation. This claimed to be a foundation, concealer, and powder all in one, which it really was. The only bad thing about this foundation was the fact that it oxidizes. So if you look at a shade and you think it's your color, I would definitely say go to the shade lighter, like 1 shade lighter than what you think you need, because this definitely oxidizes. But overall, if you find the right shade, it is a beautiful foundation. It is matte, it stays all day, it does not budge. I would say you might have to touch up maybe once with this foundation, if that. This one is one of these really full coverage, stay all day foundations, just like the name says. This one does has an SPF of 20, but as far as I can remember, it does not give flashback. So it's one of those really good foundations. So next I have this Flower Beauty Face the World Tinted Moisturizer in the color TM6. and this of course says it's a tinted moisturizer, but I actually use it as a foundation usually during the summertime. This is a little bit sheer, but you can definitely build it up so you can do about 2 or 3 layers of this, and it will definitely give you that medium coverage. And if you don't have too many blemishes on your face or anything like that, this is a really good one. The only real bad thing about this foundation is that it is kind of tacky, and that tackiness does not go away throughout the day. So it's kind of a nuisance. Like after a couple hours you would expect that to go away, but it never does. So if you're really sensitive to that kind of tacky feeling on your face, you're definitely not going to like this foundation. I only really like it during the summertime because it does give that like not really glowy look or dewy look, but it's more of a natural finish foundation, so that's why I like to use it during the summer. I do think I will repurchase it because I think they reformulated it, if I'm not mistaken. It's not very expensive. It's about $8 to $9, I think. It might be less than that, I think. And you can only really find this foundation at Walmart. This is definitely for someone who wants more of a natural light coverage. So if you want a full coverage foundation, this is definitely not the one for you. Next, I have the Revlon Age Define foundation, and mine is in the color 40 Medium Beige. This foundation is a medium coverage foundation. You can definitely build it up to be full coverage. About 2 layers, maybe 3, but 3 could be kind of pushing it and you might look a little bit cakey with this foundation. I do really like the coverage and the way this foundation looks. It has more of a semi-matte kind of finish, almost satin. It really is a beautiful foundation. It's really good for if you are someone who likes to take pictures or someone who does YouTube or something like that. I think this is a really good foundation. It actually looks really good in HD. So I really like it for that. It does has an SPF of 15, so this I don't think it has a real flashback to it. I've never really experienced it when I've been wearing this foundation. I don't ever think that like it looks like it has flashback to it. But overall, I really do like this foundation. It runs anywhere from $11 to $13, so it is a little bit more pricey, but I do think it's a really beautiful foundation. Next here I have the L'Oreal True Match foundation. I have mine in the color W6 Sun Beige and N5.5 Perfect Beige, and I do not like this foundation whatsoever. I do not like this foundation, and that is so weird because I know a lot of people actually really love this foundation. I am not one of those people. This foundation is very thick. It looks thick on the skin. It looks like you have foundation on, and I don't like that kind of look. It is a full coverage foundation in my opinion. I think I don't like this foundation because I don't have very problematic skin, so I don't need something that's full coverage, and that's what this is. I feel like it's really full coverage and that you can't really sheer it down. I mean, I guess you could if you wore like a really thin layer of it, but even then I don't like the way it looks on my skin. It looks heavy, cakey. I personally do not like this foundation, and it says True Match, and it says that it has every other color in the world that you can find your perfect match, and I personally have not been able to find that. So I don't like this foundation. I think it's too thick. It's too much. I don't like it. I feel like it might be good for someone who is looking for something to really cover their skin up. If they have like problematic skin, I think that this might be a good one. But if someone who has like really flawless, like not really much coverage problems, or not something that they want to cover up too much, then this might be a little too much for that person. It might be a little too thick looking. So I would say there are better foundations than this one in the drugstore. This is not a good one for me. And lastly here I have L'Oreal's Magic Nude Liquid Powder Foundation. This I love. I think this is my ultimate favorite foundation from the drugstore. I have mine in the shade 328 Sun Beige, and this matches me perfectly. That is what I'm wearing now. I love this foundation so much. It reminds me a lot of my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk foundation, but I think I like this a little bit better. Or about the same. Maybe not better, but about the same. And this is only about $11 to $13, $14 depending on where you purchase it from. You can get this anywhere. And I really love this foundation. Every time I wear it, somebody compliments me on my skin saying it looks so flawless and like just smooth, and it's true. Like, it might not pick up that way on camera, but in person, this foundation is amazing. I don't experience any flashback with this. It is medium coverage. You can build it up to full coverage, but you have to let the layers dry before you apply another one, because if not, it'll kind of just slide all over the place. It is very, very, very liquidy, so it's kind of a pain in the butt because you have to like pour it out, which I hate doing. I want it to have a pump rather than me pouring it out, but that's the only bad thing I have to say about this foundation. It does come in a large range of colors, which is really nice for those of you who may not be able to find your perfect shade. I think this one you might be able to, or close enough. I think this is one of the ones that I've been able to actually really match to my skin, and it looked really good. So I like this foundation for all year round as well. I think it's one of those foundations that you can wear during the summer or during winter, and it's gonna look beautiful. It is a satin type of finish, so it's very comfortable to wear. It does not feel heavy whatsoever. I love it. If you don't pick up any other foundations that I'm talking about, pick up this one. This one's one of the best foundations that I've tried, and it's from the drugstore. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini review on all of the foundations that I've personally tried from the drugstore. Please let me know what you would like to see next in the comment section below. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye! Hey you, so today I am here to do... Oh my god, can you go faster? Because I'm dying, I really am. These lights though. These lights are gonna kill me. Legit, I'm gonna die. Okay. Oh my god, I'm dying.